There is a huge issue that the Philadelphia Eagles need to fix, and they need to fix this as soon as possible. Otherwise, they won't fulfill the expectations that this team is capable of accomplishing here in 2025. If they want to repeat as Super Bowl champions, this offensive line needs to improve. And we think of this Eagles offensive line as one of the best units in all of football, a unit that can dominate game in and game out, that wears the opposition down throughout the course of a 60-minute ball game. That hasn't been the case this year. And there has been a very concerning regression with this Eagles offensive line the first 4 games of the year. It does not look like an elite unit. They've been anything but that to start off this season. And when you think about this matchup on Sunday against the Denver Broncos, this Eagles offensive line needs to play better against a Broncos team that has one of the best defenses in the NFL. They're number 2 in points per game given up, but they are number 1 in the following categories: sacks with 15, quarterback hits with 41, pressure rate at 47.1%. This is an Eagles offense that hasn't been able to throw it consistently. Part of the reason? Pressure, especially from the interior. This is an Eagles offensive line that hasn't been able to block in the run game good enough. Saquon Barkley, I think, looks great. He looks like the player from last year, but the running lanes haven't been open. And this is because the Eagles offensive line, they're not winning their one-on-ones. They're not sound in the scheme. They're missing assignments, and they're just not playing the ball that we're accustomed to seeing them play. And it's the same offensive line outside of right guard where Tyler Steen has taken over for Mekhi Becton. Mekhi Becton's with the Chargers, and I think at moments, Tyler Steen has played well. On some of Saquon Barkley's touchdown runs, they've run behind Tyler Steen. He's had some good blocks. He's pretty athletic. But the consistency with his game isn't there. And that's kind of always been the problem with him. And then furthermore, you look at how this Eagles offensive line has performed in 2025. There's a lot of money invested up front. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Jordan Mailata. He's actually been one of the highest graded offensive linemen in the game. But Landon Dickerson, not playing well. He is number 2 in average annual value for left guards in the NFL. Cam Jurgens is one of the highest paid centers in the NFL. Hasn't played all that great. Tyler Steen, way too up and down. Lane Johnson, when on the field, has been very good, not elite, but he's also been hurt a couple of times. And so these numbers here are problematic, and they're kind of shocking, right? Philadelphia, 25th in yards before contact per carry, 27th in run stuff rate, 22nd in run block rate, 24th in pressure rate allowed, and 26th in pass block win rate. That's not going to cut it. And so you think about this Eagles offense as a whole, as a unit to start the year. They've had good halves. They've had good quarters. They've had good stretches. A big reason, though, why the offense has been inconsistent throwing it, they can't pass protect. A big reason why Saquon Barkley's yards have gone down every week and why he hasn't been able to pop off those long, trademark explosive runs, why he hasn't been able to have that great game is because this Eagles offensive line is not doing a good enough job of blocking in the ground game. And this is also pretty nutty, right? Last year, Saquon Barkley had that legendary season. Broke the record for the most rushing yards in a single season when you combine the regular season and playoffs. Set the franchise record for rushing yards in a single season. Ran for over 2,000 yards in the regular season. Nearly beat Eric Dickerson's record with a game fewer played. And how many times did he pop off those explosive runs? I mean, 40, 50, 60, 70-yard runs. Occasionally, no. All the time, yes. This year, though, it hasn't even happened occasionally. And a big reason for that is the space that he's not getting as soon as he gets the ball. And when he's getting some of these carries, it feels as though he is swarmed right away. Now, some of this is due to defenses loading the box and selling out to stop the run because they're trying to stop Saquon first as the point of emphasis for stopping the Eagles offense. But again, the offensive line has to play better. But look at these numbers here. 2024, in yards before contact, yards before he was even contacted, Saquon Barkley would pick up 3.8 yards per attempt prior to contact. Number 1 in the NFL. Here in 2025, he is picking up less than a yard per attempt before contact. And that's why he's had so many TFLs against him, and that's why he has really struggled to get going. I think that Saquon looks every bit of the player that we saw last year. We've seen the burst, we've seen the explosion, but the lanes haven't been there, the gaping holes have not been there, and it's because of this Eagles offensive line. Now, obviously, with the talent, you feel good. With Jeff Stoutland, you feel great. Best offensive line coach in the NFL. But it needs to get fixed and corrected ASAP. How about these numbers here? The Eagles' interior offensive line, Landon Dickerson, Tyler Steen, Cam Jurgens, have given up a combined 26 pressures. That's in the pass game. And you're not going to be successful in the pass game if the pressure is coming from the interior. Why do you think so many teams across the NFL the last few years have really started to prioritize getting pass rushing defensive tackles? It's because if the pocket gets muddied and the quarterback's vision and sightline is blurred, that impacts the entire process of trying to throw the ball downfield. And that's why Jalen Hurts has gotten sacked on a few occasions. That's why Jalen Hurts has been moved off of his spot. That's why at times as a shorter quarterback, Hurts has struggled to throw over the middle because the pressure is coming right from the gut, and immediately that can wreck a play. And specifically with Landon Dickerson, I have some numbers that I'm trying to fetch here. His pass blocking grade this season, week 1, 39.9, week 2, 56.1, week 3, 47.5, week 4, 40.5. He's getting targeted a lot, and clearly he is not healthy to start the year, and he's kind of killing this Eagles offensive line. He's also allowed 3 sacks and 13 total pressures in 2025. He's now on pace to allow 12 sacks and 55 total pressures this year. His previous career high, 5 sacks and 38 total pressures. That came in 2023. So he's a component along the interior and along the Eagles offensive line who also needs to improve. I'm spitting out this type of data, this type of analysis right here on YouTube, but also on my social media pages. So give me a follow over there, X and Instagram at Chase_Senior, and I look forward to hearing from you.